We are coming to you live from Santa Ana in the Southern California Canvas Users Conference. Everybody give a big hoot. And this is, as you know, this is a sneak peek of what's more to come with the Canvas Live space. And really the idea behind this space is to connect users together and to really empower us to help each other. So let's say you were looking to do something. Let's say maybe I really want to learn how to embed a Google folder in my course page and how that would help me. I'm working on this. At 1 o'clock, would anybody be able to help me? And you could just start your own meetup in the Canvas Live space, and people from around the globe, around the world, will hopefully like, oh yeah, I know how to do that, and help you. And we have one of those people today with us, and his name is Adam Williams, and he's coming to us from Flagstaff, Arizona. So we're so happy to have Adam with us, and he's from Coconino Community College. And I'll turn it over to you, Adam.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I can't take credit for this. It's one of many things in the community that I have found that I think is amazing and worth sharing. And that's a great thing about the community, that it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you're interested in. I think on any given day, any given moment, you'll be able to find something in there that's interesting, helpful, useful. And I wanted to show you one of those things today. So I don't know how many of you already use Google Drive, but Google Drive has a really nice way of embedding basically a widget view of the contents of a folder. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here, and for the most of the presentation, you'll just be viewing my screen. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
All right.
That's a great picture, by the way, Adam.
You like that one?
Yes.
Yeah, I grabbed that's some of you may recognize that's from InstructureCon this year. All right, so who am I? I'm the instructional technology specialist. So at a community college our size, that basically means that I'm the Canvas guy. So from management to support, training, ideas, implementation, LTI tools, all that fun stuff. I'm also a Canvas coach and a Canvassador. So Chris could tell you more about being a Canvas coach and Canvassador, but it's just people who already use and love Canvas and want to get involved in different ways. You can find me on the Twitter right there if you're interested. Okay, so for those of you at SoCal Canvas in the room, please feel free to jump in here with a question at any time. If you feel like you need to raise your hand, by all means. If you just want to blurt it out, that's fine with me too. If you are viewing live, then you should have a nice big banner across the top of my slide deck that gives you a link where you can go and post questions. So if you post a question on there, I'll be able to see it and I can respond to it. At the top of my slide deck, top right, is a bit.ly link. That bit.ly link goes to the blog post in the Canvas community, where you will be able to find the person who wrote this document, the information about it, and how to use it. So if you forget everything that I say after this point, just remember that that bit.ly link is the place to go, and you can get reacquainted from there. So in brief, what do we want to do? So we want to go from this, which is a Google Drive folder, to this, which is a Canvas page with the contents of that Google Drive folder listed out. Or maybe we want to go to this, which is the contents of that Google Drive folder shown in grid view with thumbnail icons. So I got to give credit where credit's due. This was originally posted as a Canvas community blog post by Jacob Standish. Here's the link again to get to his blog post. And then he also went the extra mile and created a small little tool that will make it a lot easier for you to go from the shareable link that Google gives you to embed code that you can put directly into Canvas. So I'm going to make a couple of assumptions here that you have a Google account and you know how to log into it, that you're comfortable with managing your sharing permissions inside of Google Drive, and that you can find out how to switch into the HTML editor on a Canvas page. With all of these tips and tricks and tools, I think it would be a good idea for all of us to just make it mandatory that we talk about accessibility before we get started. So in researching the accessibility concerns for this, I went to webaim.org, and you can go read what they have to say about iframes, which is the technology that makes this possible. But the snippet I pulled out is that there are no distinct accessibility issues with iframes. Basically, the content that you're going to be adding with this embed code will be read off to a user with a screen reader in the same way that any other content on the page would be. I haven't yet been able to try this on mobile apps. So as many of you know, lots of the fancy things you can do in Canvas don't always work in the apps. So I haven't been able to test this yet. In my experience, iframes will sometimes show up. They just won't be the size you want them to be. But it should work fine in the mobile browsers, but this may not work in the app. So there's that disclaimer. All right, so let's get into it. All right. So here's Mr. Standish and his wonderful blog post in the Instructional Designers group in the community. There is just amazing, amazing content in this Instructional Designers group. So if you haven't gone in there and checked it out, you're really missing out. So here's his full blog post. You can go and read it on your own. Down here is the link to his tool, which is also in my slide deck. And then next, I'm going to go to my Google Drive. Trying to remember where I put my stuff. Okay, so is that big enough for you guys? Let's see. All right, so here we are. I'm in my Google Drive. In this Canvas Live folder, I've got a folder called SoCal 101. In that folder, I have two subfolders and a document. Now, what I want to do is I want to make this content visible on a Canvas page. So let's do it. First thing we need to do is to share this folder that we want to be visible on the Canvas page. There are several different ways you can do that. I usually just right-click, and then I select Get Shareable Link. You want to select that link and copy it. Okay, we're good to go in Google Drive for now. The next step is to use the tool that Jacob Standish wrote to take that shareable link and turn it into embed code for Canvas. So again, on his blog post, the tool link.
Adam, can I stop you for a second?
Yeah, yes, please.
So what kind of threw me for a loop is that nice picture. I wanted to click on that picture. And I was like,
oh, yes, from the blog post itself.
Yes. So where do
right
you...
here. This is just an image. Yeah, this big thing is just an image. Yes. So yeah, there's just a small little link right underneath. Let's see.
There you go. Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep. That will take you to his tool that does the magic. If this tool were to ever go away, we could reproduce the magic, but so long as this tool is here, use it. It's great. Okay. Now, once you go to his webpage, there's one text entry box and one button. Paste in the shareable link that you just got from Google Drive and select Get Code. Works really quickly, and this will look familiar to some of you who may have done any embedding of content before into Canvas pages. So what we see in this gray box is exactly what I need to give Canvas. So I'm going to select this bit of code. I'm going to copy it. And now we head over into Canvas. How are we doing so far? Should I slow down for anybody?
How are you guys
I
doing?
see some people trying to follow along, so I want to make sure I'm not going too fast if you want to try this out.
It's also on you. It'll be on YouTube, so we can hit pause and all that. So if we ever want to go back and watch, we're good.
All right, so let's keep trucking. So here we are in Canvas. I'm gonna do this on a page, but all we need is the rich content editor. So keep in mind that the rich content editor is becoming more and more pervasive throughout Canvas. So you could use this on an announcement, and a discussion, an assignment, description. So anywhere you find the rich content editor, this should work. But I'm going to use a page. Get a new page. Right. So here's where you may not have done this before. Over here in the top right, up above the rich content editor box, is a link that says HTML editor. Normally you don't ever want to have to go there, but every once in a while when you want to do something cool and fancy, this is where you go. So once you switch to the HTML editor, all of the buttons go away in the toolbar, and it's just one big box. And that's where you're going to paste the code from Jacob's tool. And believe it or not, that's it.
Yeah, awesome.
Of course, we need to save and publish. There's my Canvas page with the contents of my Google Drive folder listed out for me. Now what's great about this is that this isn't just a snapshot. This is dynamic. So every time this Canvas page loads, it goes out and it checks to see what it needs to display on this page. So you can easily set this up ahead of time and then just add documents as you come by them, as you create them, and your Canvas pages are dynamically going to update with the latest content from whatever you have in these Google Drive folders. Another great thing about this, since it's dynamic, is that you can use it in multiple courses. So you could have one Google Drive folder for an English course that you teach 3 sections of, and rather than creating 3 copies of the same course or trying to get the course designed before it starts and then make 3 copies of it, you can just have areas of the course that are embedded Google Drive folders and then add content to them as you need, and all of your courses that you've done this in will just update as soon as you add something to that Google Drive folder. Let me demonstrate real quick. So we'll go back into Google Drive, into my shared folder. I'm going to let's add a spreadsheet. So I went through that pop-up pretty quickly because I've seen it so many times, but what it told me there was that when I went to create a new item, it says, hey, you're creating this item in a shared folder. It's going to be shared at the same level as the folder is shared. So keep in mind, once you've shared this, anybody who gets access to the link can view the contents of this folder, so it's not entirely private between you and your students. And anything you add to this folder will be shared as well. So here, all right, now we've got a new document in that folder. I see it showing up here in Google Drive. Let's hop back into Canvas and refresh this page. And there's that new document showing up on the Canvas page. All I had to do was just add it to Google Drive. It's pretty much instantaneous.
Sorry, can we clap now, Bill?
So that's pretty awesome. I think that's pretty awesome. It stuck out to me so much that when Chris said, hey, does anybody have any ideas for things they might want to talk about, I said, you know, this is something I've been dying to talk to people about. So I've been turning our faculty here, Coconino, onto this trick. Some of them are more comfortable with Google Drive than others. So Now that you've seen the magic, let's just show you a few ways you can use this slightly differently. So we talked about the grid as well. So on Jacob's tool, when it gives you this code, if you look right here is the word list. All view is to change that word from list to grid. So we've copied all of his code. Let's just create another page real quick. How are we doing on time, Chris? I have not been watching. We're doing good?
Yep.
Okay, because we're into the bonus material now.
Yeah. Are you guys good for the bonus?
Yeah.
All right. We want more.
All right. So doing the same thing as before, copying the code from his tool, pasting it into Canvas, the HTML editor, but right here, I want to change it from list to grid. And if you forget how to do this, he talks about it in the blog post as well. So just the golden rule is go back to his blog post, and everything you need should be there. But with that changed from list to grid, all right, there it is. Not only is it, so it's actually showing a preview of the contents of this document, and it's showing these shared folders. So shared folders, that's cool. So you can have subfolders in here. Let's make sure this is next. Yes, so user-specific folders. What if you, as the instructor or designer or design team, wanted to have a folder here that you guys saw on the Canvas page, but the students didn't see? You can totally do that. So let's say we wanted to, this is back into Google Drive, create a new folder here. We'll call it Instructor Resources. Now, notice that this folder does get shared automatically just by virtue of being created inside of a shared folder. So what we need to do here is dial back the privacy settings. So you can click on this share here after you right-click on the folder. What I do is come down to the bottom right of this box that pops up, and I click Advanced. And so we see in the first line, anyone who has the link can view. So I want to change that. I want to say only specific people can view this folder. When I save that, right here is where I would put the names of anybody besides myself that I would like for this to be visible to. So if I had some instructional designers or design team, then I could share this folder with them, and when they came to the Canvas page, they would see this folder as well. So let's just go ahead and follow through with this. I don't, done there, done. Okay. So all I did was make some changes in Google Drive. The beauty of this is that I don't have to do anything to the page once I've created it. So all I have, other than refresh, this page is going out and doing what it needs to do all on its own. So here's this instructor resources folder. Now that doesn't prove to you that the students won't see it. So let's do an incognito browser. This will be about the last thing I have time to show you. So bear with me here.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'd like you guys to think of like how you might use this. I see you guys are like, I see the light bulbs going on, but we can't. Like, I want to know what's in your head. How would you use this?
I want to know too. I heard somebody say that they could do group project folders. So they could share the same way that I was setting up the sharing permissions for that folder. I could have shared it with a group of email addresses for students. So if I've got group A, B, and C doing different projects, then I can have folders inside of Google Drive that only group A sees when they come to the Canvas page. So here I am. I'm logged in as the test student, and I'm on this page, and notice I do not see the instructor resources. Over here on this one, I'm logged into my Google account, so I do see the instructor resources. So what makes this work is that the person needs to be logged into their Google account in the same browser that they're logged into Canvas with, and then it'll know who they are in Google, and then it will show them the appropriate content when they come to this Canvas page. So yeah, being able to hide some stuff for just instructors or design teams, maybe just having a folder on the page. The page is just called, project number 1, and then when group A goes to that page, they see their folder. Group B sees their folder. Other ideas, though?
Yeah. Wes, you had an idea?
Well, the first thing I tried was we had a folder.
So you have to really talk loud.
Talk loud?
Yeah.
So we had a folder of presenters' photos for the conference yesterday, and so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I just went and embedded that, and so the Canvas page, it just became a pictorial directory of all the presenters. So then in revising that, I was like, oh, you could actually have a Google form where students submit a picture. You could have a script run that so it takes the picture and puts it in a folder that's embedded in your course, like for a student directory. You might want to check what they're posting first. But yeah, so just a pictorial directory.
And even on a very basic level, to play on what Wes was saying, like Sharon, here's that space. Just show me that later, right? And I go, it's easy. What we just saw with embedding the folder part is basic Google Docs, which is phenomenal because that makes I can wrap my head around it and then I'll share it later. But like if you have, what you really blew my mind at was when you showed us how, but you synthesized it, that if I want to embed a folder that only me and Wes and Brian can see, so we have like, if someone's not able to do the form advance part, they can throw their stuff in that folder that they can see, and then the visible part we can put in a visible grid that students or other participants can see. So the levels of what's transparent and what's not, what's visible and not visible is mind-blowing.
Here's a picture, a visual. At first I had a list view, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then when I switched to grid view, I was like, wow, awesome. You could actually just see like a little picture directory.
That is so cool.
And it was like 5 seconds of whatever.
You should tweet a picture of that to SoCal Canvas so we can see it. Somebody tweet a picture of that. Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. The bird can't fly fast enough, but it's coming.
Awesome.
I immediately thought of sharing my files with my team, my grade level team, so that we're all doing the same instruction. So I thought immediately that's going to be cool.
Cool. I love it. Well, go find Jacob's blog post, go have fun with this, and then let us know what you're doing with it and what awesome things you've been able to do, and tell Jacob thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And also to add to that, if you go into the community, the Canvas community, and do a search for Google Mania, there's a blog post that sort of curates all the cool things that people have done with Google in general and how they've integrated it. So from grading to Google Drive to analytics, like everything. So it's just a curated blog post about how people are using Google in general and integrating it with Canvas. So I can also tweet out that link as well.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else have any questions or anything good? Okay, how about another round of... All right, thank you so much, community team. Thank you, Adam. We really appreciate you making the time for us, and we'll see you in the community.
All right, we'll see you then. Keep up the good work.
T-
at the